Okay, my clock says almost 9:59 and few seconds. So again, this greetings from Nashville, Tennessee, the Music City. Yeah, I'm about 30 miles from there. Nice weather today. I hope you got a nice weather. And again, welcome to our Reliability X webinar today. Are you a hero or reliability leader? Okay, let me go here. So, question is, are you a reliability hero or reliability leader? You know, nobody's born as a hero or a leader. We, the organization, the companies, the management teams, create heroes and leaders through our behavior and actions. This webinar will try to attempt explain the difference between hero and leader, define attributes of a special kind of a reliability leader or the real heroes. This is my outline of today's talk. We're going to talk about safety. By the way, I always talk about safety. Safety and reliability go hand in hand. As you become more reliable, you become more safer and more cost effective competitive. We can talk about a little bit of introduction, some definitions. Sometimes it's difficult to talk about culture, so I have put together some scenarios to a little bit more understand what this culture means and how that culture we create heroes and leaders. We're going to talk about a little bit about attributes of reliability leaders. Then, culture is important part of developing right people, reliability leaders. And we have some questions, answers session too. What is the top safety cited violation for 2023 by OSHA? Top. Let me give you some choices. A. Ladders, lockout tagout, hazard communication, or fall protection. I hope you have selected one of these. The right answer is fall protection. Has been, again, these fall protection, lockout, tagout, all these these are the 10 top frequently cited by OSHA, and they keep changing the plays. Top 5, 6 stays the same. Okay, they don't change. I mean, just change the switches some, positions. Like fall protection was last year, also no change. Hazard communication has been there. Uh, Ladder was fourth, and now it moved to third place. So these are the top 10 which of uh, most cited violation by the OSHA. Think about what's your place and what you need to be doing. About me, I've been around many, many years, retired a few times. I got a passion for maintenance reliability, so I'm still kind of involved, engaged. That's the reason I'm here to talk to you, share my knowledge, always interested. Now, who is hero? Someone who is admired for their courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. A leader, one who guides others. He has some influence on others. He always think about their livelihood, their safety, those their teammates. You know, that's a leader. Reliable leader, one who helps other person or machine or gadget to do better job, perform better. My friend Dennis Hollins, and we wrote a book, 10 Rights of Asset Management. He said there, One who creates a new feature for eliminating defects, reducing total cost of ownership, and supporting the organization's objective. That's a reliability leader. Culture, a common set of values, beliefs, attitude, perceptions, accepted behavior. That's the culture. Really think about culture is what people do when bosses are not around, how people talk, how the work is get done when nobody's watching them. That's a culture. Reliability culture, or we can call it culture of excellence in reliability field, a workplace where everyone doing the right things to ensure defects are eliminated at the first place when identified. It means during planning, during design, procurement, we are not buying the lowest cost. We are buying the best value products or components or spares or those. There are no silos. The total cost ownership is a minimize. That's a reliability culture. Let's look into some scenarios I put together to understand the culture better. Let's look into this plant where they reported one well 139 wouldn't close. Operation workaround was used to temporarily divert the process. The breakdown was reported to the maintenance department with the urgent request of in the CMMS system to fix it. They needed the valve for next production run, so they wanted to get that as quickly as possible. So let's see into how things went in this place. The maintenance dispatched a mechanic to evaluate and fix the valve. Mechanic went there. They noticed a burning smell and suspected motor has may have on hydraulic pump may have burned. They called an electrician for help to make sure that's the case. Electrician determined yes, motor has failed. He asked supervisors, hey, we need to replace the motor. They, they called storekeeper. They found there was no spare motor available. Supervisor called the operation to report that hey, the motor has failed. They don't have spares. It's going to take a few days to get it repaired. But they said, hey, they needed repair now. Customers are waiting. So supervisor called the plant engineer to help locate the motor. Okay. Uh, okay. The plant engineer also got also involved. They, in some places they call it plant engineer or system engineer or whatever you want to call it. And supervisor found the same type of motor on a similar system which was not being used, cannibalizing. Maintenance guys are good at it. We are good at it. Supervisor sent another crew to remove that motor, while this crew sent other crew remove the failed motor. Maintenance replaced the motor, adjust the linkage to the sluggish operation. Valve was released to the operation. The work order was closed with a comment, valve fixed. I hope you're noticing how work order was closed. Operation was happy. Did a 4 hours repair. They sent an email thanking the crew and the maintenance guys. Well done. The maintenance manager also thanked the crew, mechanic, electrician for the job and said, well done, guys. Well done. In fact, some places I found that when they do this kind of a emergency repair or do something well done, they give them a card, go and have a lunch or dinner with the families, this kind of thing. What do you think of this scenario? What kind of message operation and media managers are conveying? Type of culture is in this organization, in this plan? They are rewarding, well done, a reactive work, breakdowns. That's what they're doing. Are we creating heroes? So those are guys we do one time, two time, they become heroes. That's what we are doing. We are creating, encouraging that kind of behavior. I'm always ready to fix anything, anytime. Someplace I've seen, I heard some of these heroes, they hold the parts, they keep in their cabinets, and they're ready to jump on. They know where to find the part. They got it. They're ready to fix it. Let's look into second scenario. Okay. In this scenario, same thing happened, but events happen a little bit differently. The maintenance supervisor in this case, and so scheduler, visited the asset site, assessed the failure, found that valve linkage was tight and dry, also found it was probably the electric motor of the hydraulic system has failed. So they assigned a mechanic and electrician, requested 6 month chronological history, what has done on this machine. He also alerted the plant system engineer of the problem. Many place CMMS system, when you write an emergency breakdown or kind of work order, it gives you what was done last 2 times or last 3 months or 6 months kind of thing. So some systems, CMMS system, give you that kind of a information. Okay, electrician determined he came, their motor has failed, overload relating to function properly. A mechanic found the linkage was tight and due to inadequate lubrication. The repair history was attached. They said, yeah, it happens before too. And pressure was adjusted. Okay. The repair plan, in the meantime, they had, repair included the replacement of the motor or relays, restoration of hydraulic pressure, and spare motor was available. Work was completed. Operator supported the repair. Now, think operator supported the repair, helped the testing the system, and valve was returned to the operation. Work order was closed with repair details documented. Repairs details documented what they did, every detail. Operation was pleased with 2 hour repair. The maintenance manager thanked the crew for a job well done for finding the root cause and then asked them for a plan for further action needed to improve the reliability for review in 10 days. Hey, come back to me in 10 days. We don't want to happen this again. Now, what you think of this scenario, this plan? Right data being collected, I guess. What kind of message being conveyed by the lab maintenance manager? Yes, guys, you did a good job in finding a root cause. You fixed it, but also found the root cause. But let's find out. He said, come back in 10 days. Tell me how we're going to fix this permanently so it doesn't happen at all again. So he was conveying a different message. Yes, guys, you are done something good, finding some causes and fixing the machine as quickly as possible. Okay. So what kind of culture in this organization? It's not reactive, it's getting to be more proactive. They are transitioning from reactive to proactive. Also, they are converting those heroes, to reliability leaders because they're asking them. I mean, they trained them to find the root causes, but now they are asking for hey, you found the root, maybe that's the right one, go back, do some brainstorming, tell me what we need to be doing. So leaders helps to succeed a team. So that's what we are trying to. We are developing the leaders, reliability leaders. That's what we're trying to do. Now let's look into the third scenario. In this case, things happen a little bit differently. In fact, there was no failure was reported. However, the operator noticed that he has a dashboard. On the dashboard, the current data was showing high, running high. It means the motor was overloaded. So there must be something not right. So a visually inspection. Then he talked to maintenance guys, if this is what's happening. Linkage was tight, whatever. So they called maintenance and they worked together, greased all the linkage and whatever is necessary was there, and problem was solved. Now, what you think was happening here? Now, think about it. They designed the system better. They got operator involved. Operator has the data showing him what's going on in his machine or her machine. So he or she had the data. Also, hey, what to look for when this kind of problem happens. And everybody knew it, and they planned things properly. That's what you call reliability culture in that organization. Designer thought about these kind of issues and anticipated this kind of problem, and they thought about it. Again, they missed some, but at least they followed the right track. They had a dashboard like this where they could see operator or whatever is what's needed, that machine, or what's happening. You know, Here is, as I said, we have a reliability culture. Those guys who are working are the really heroes. Those are reliability leaders, to speak, that anticipate those kind of problems and build the system, design the system accordingly. Still, they may miss some, but at least they're on right track. So technician are the fixers? No. And supervisor manager, what kind of message they are giving? Hey, we want to fix these problems so don't happen. They are not rewarding the reactive behavior, fixing behavior. So as a manager, a supervisor, or something, what I do, my action, my behavior, that people see that. Your people see that. And that's so heroes are admired for their courage. In reactive organizations, there are few people who can quickly fix broken assets. Organization treats them as heroes, reward them with recognition, which is a wrong thinking or wrong action they're taking. Because they think, people see that, hey, management wants us to, they're rewarding us for this thing. So these heroes may not do all the right things, but people treat them as heroes anyway. Leader, again, one who guides others, and they have a high degree of influence on others to do more. Leaders is always the person who always cares about safety, welfare, livelihood, long term of their people, making them better people, physically, mentally, emotionally. And reliability leader who helps others to improve, to get better. And in our case, assets, to reduce the total cost of ownership, sort supporting the organization's objective a long haul. People in scenario, technician, operators, managed supervisors, they are the they are developing the reliability leaders. They are more taking proactive approaches. That's what we need to be doing. And it takes culture. It takes time because they are trying to change. Culture doesn't happen overnight. Results of a reliability culture, prevention of failures becomes an emphasis at every organization level, the entire workforce. Anybody who touches that asset in any form, shape, any place, from all the way from planning, designing, building, operators, maintainers, engineers, everyone is focused on asset reliability. Assets are maintained at reasonable, optimal cost. An effective and optimized facility maintenance plan is in place, RCMCBM based. If an asset fails, it gets fixed quickly. The root cause is determined, action is taken to prevent future failures. Most of work is planned and scheduled, which is much more cost effective. Facility asset reliability analysis is performed on a regular basis to increase uptime. Hey, where failures happening, what we can do, how effective is our PM even. The workforce is trained and taught to practice reliability-based concepts, best practices on continuous basis. Really, like safety, reliability is everyone's responsibility. How do we create a reliability culture? You know, think about it. It's not overnight thing. You have to keep working on it. It takes a long time. It's a journey. It's a journey. You have to do right things. You have to train people from bottom up, top down. Give them what reliability means, how this failures, I mean, taking care of defects, failures at early stage as possible. You know, everyone should be involved. We should have to remove these silos, from design to build of that asset, or when they hand over to operation, and then to maintenance, how they work together, all of them work together. And creating that culture takes time. Sometimes it takes 2 years, 5 years. In large organization, it may take 10 years. And then you have to make sure it continues because I've seen many, many organizations, they go up there and then suddenly they change in management because their foundation is not strong. If they fall back, they go to ground zero again. And I have seen so many organizations over the last 50, 60 years that way. So you have to build a good foundation, create a reliability culture so people, I have to see my people coming behind me and behind him and behind him. All are trained properly, appropriately training, education, as well creating a culture. It takes time. It's not, well, it can be done. It has been done. And so it takes time to create a reliability, educate, understanding of the basic concepts that are defect. And we managers, supervisors, and everyone needs to work on it. Leaders create culture. Culture drives behavior. Behavior produces results. Think about that. I like this Simon Sinek's, culture is strong when people work with each other, for each other. Culture is weak when people work against each other. What are attributes a good reliability leader? He or she is a good listener. Listening is very, very important. Good communicator, self motivated, tenacity to succeed, team builder, strategic thinking, accountable, responsible. She is also visionary. Have an objective. Hey, hey, where are we going? What's we going to achieve? He's a teacher too. You have to teach people. Analytical thinker, ability to assimilate, high integrity. He's a doer. The great work ethics. These are kind of things a good a leader should have, a reliable leader. The other day I was, just a few years ago, I was at the airport. I found this book. Rock Solid Leadership by Robin Crow. Small book, but had is the first time I saw that leadership is defined long-term vision, excellence, advanced planning, discipline, drive, determination, enthusiasm, responsibility, or sacrifice, humor, humility, influence, perseverance. Kind of a leadership defined. Each one of them are kind of a good quality of a leader. Who could be a reliability leader? Really think about it. Anyone. Most organizations don't have any leadership, a kind of a role, or they give you title leadership. It's not there. You see all the way. Most of the managers, senior manager, vice president, all these. So leader could be anyone. Somebody as a planning phase, who writes a requirement or design or source procurement, is a procurement guy or purchasing guy. He could be a leader, reliability leader. But you have to build it. I was working at or the Engineering Development Center, ADC. And one time we got all our top management, including our procurement guy, HR guy, our production guys, all their directors. They were all certified. The reason we did that was so that we are talking same language. That's another attributes of having a reliability culture. All are talking same language. They understand. What we have when they are talking to each other, whether whosoever talking where. So operation maintenance improvement. So anybody in this area could be a reliability leader. Somebody has to take initiative, start learning, and doing the right things. And that's is a you to become a reliability leader. That's what you have to do. Are you a reliability leader? Ask yourself, am I a reliability leader? What qualifies me to be a reliability leader? What attribute do I have or need to get to become a reliability leader? You know, that tells me a story. A few years ago, I got my general manager to become a certified CMRP that time. And then he started going to the conferences, SMRP conference or IMC conference, and I used to arrange for it. When he comes back, he starts sending note to his directors. Hey, are we doing this? Are we doing this? Are we doing this? You know, now I'm thinking, I really turned him into a reliability leader. He didn't have to do that. He was general manager. I mean, he could have asked them, but no. He started going himself to this conference, trying to learn what's going on, and then he start asking questions. That's what reliability leader. Start asking right questions. Hey, if failure happens, why this happened, guys? What we can do? Start asking right questions. Continuous improvement. Eh, We have to create a culture of continuous improvement. And again, don't forget, it's a never ending journey. Yes, I had a lot of frustration when I used to. It takes me as many several years to build culture. Yes, people won't buy, but you have to keep working on it. That reminds me, after second or third year of this place, I got on my annual review, I was given that one of the negative. I'm too persistent. Because when I used to walk in the hallway and people used to come, here comes Ramesh. Only thing in his mind is reliability. That's what he's going to ask. what we're doing and what's the status on this. Some of those guys, when they retired, they said they really complimented me. They wish we had listened to you 5 years ago or 8 years ago when you were talking these things. Yes, it takes time, but eventually you get rewarded for that. And I feel proud, when I see those guys and the achievement we achieved all together that place. So that's again, it takes time. So this workplace, I use the word gamba, which I really love. Gamba is a Japanese word. Many of you may have heard that. Gamba, the the place, the workplace where value is created. Great Japanese word. We call it just a place. It's not a workplace where value is created, where we both heroes and leaders are born. We may need both, but need to change the hero's mentality to the reliability leader. Yeah, we need a fixing, something break, something happen which you never thought, but we need those heroes, but we need to convert them to a reliability leader. So as they are repairing, they're trying to find, hey, why this fail? And come up a solution to permanently eliminate that defect. Finding a root causes and work together as a team. We manager supervisor need to ask the right questions to change the behavior in a positive direction. Okay, I don't know, I think somehow this webinar doesn't, I got some questions was given to me, so I'm going to answer here. Uh, let's see, there, and this. Okay, one of the question was raised to me was how long does it take to create a reliability culture? Well, I asked that answer that already talked about it. It depends upon how big you are. Sometimes it may take you a year, 2 years. Sometimes it may take you 7, 8 years, or 10 years, depending on how big your organization is and how much training you have to do, educate your people, and you have to be persistent. Takes time. Don't give up. Don't give up. How do we know that? Second, another question was, how do we know that we have a reliability culture? Boy, when people start talking about reliability, that's where you got a reliability culture. Let me give you another example. Here, after a few years as a reliability engineering manager, I was attached to the design group, and it took me a few years to change the behavior, talking. And then after two, three, four, I was the third year, fourth year, when I was taking around in that area, people call me, designer will come and say, look, Ramesh, here, what we are doing. He was showing that this asset they were designing and it needed to be lifted after 7, 8 years for major overhauls. This was outside somewhere. And he said, hey, we don't have a crane and I cannot put the overhead crane there, but we have a GLG. And he put a model of the GLG. Say, hey, I can get the GLG over that area and we can lift it. So point was, he was thinking that hey, this thing may happen. We have to remove after 7, 8 years, and but there is a way we could do it. So that's kind of a is a creating a reliability culture. When those kinds of things happen, it means you got it. When technician is talking, hey, look, here I think we can fix this way. We found this problem, although we fixed it, what we have. That's what reliability culture is. When procurement guys working with you say, okay, yeah, this is the cheapest. No, I think we may go to this product or this part which has a more best value. That's what you have to do. You have to get them involved. You know, many years ago, we were having a problem with our hydraulic systems, actuators, and fuel pumps. Finally, we got all hydraulic systems engineers together, and I called procurement guy also. This was the first time he was called in when they were start talking. We are having a problem with this actuator, this kind of. Oh, and he was amazed. He said, "I never heard of this. Well, I didn't know that." So it's getting them involved. That's what it matters. Okay. Other question was, this is what we are experiencing high overtime, 15, 20%. What could we do to reduce it to manager level, managing level? Well, yes, if you have a reactive culture and you are fixing all the time, it's going to take a lot of overtime. And that's not good. The rule of thumb or best benchmark is less than 5%. But if you are, many times I've seen that initially, I mean, places where you have reactive culture, you will have high overtime, and this is not good. And well, it's going to take a while. You have to develop a kind of a you have to focus on some key components, which component, I mean asset, work on those, making sure they have been right PMs on those. Okay, so it's going to take you a while. Focus on those, having them right PMs on those, and slowly, what you have, and then slowly reducing over time as equipment gets more reliable. And okay, I got one raised hand, and let's see if it can let me. Okay, can you write a question? Listen mode only. Waleed, I don't know how allowed to talk. Okay, let's see if we system will let him to speak. I've allowed him to speak. Yes.
Yes, Mr. Ramesh.
Yes, sir. Waleed, how are you? What I can help you?
Just I have a question. When we are changing the culture of our organization or our team, we find some resistance. So, how to mitigate this resistance to the change?
Well, you would have a lot of resistance. It's education. Somehow you'd convey the message that whatever you do, this improvement, reliability, how it can help them to do their job better. Okay, it's not taking reliability means less failures. Less means less rushing around things, doing things. So you have to convey that message that hey, building reliability in our system or doing a better job, it will reduce the stress level, it'll reduce our cost, all those kind of things. But it takes time. It's a lot of talking, persuasion that it requires. Yes, there will be some resistance. And
Yes.
so it's going to take a time. You have to keep working on it. Just keep working on it, explain to them, educate them, send to some place, a conference or seminar or something, so where they can learn from others also. Why they are having similar, other people having similar issues. When they talk to them, then it gets better. That's what I have to do. I have to take my people and go to benchmark other companies or go to conferences or seminars, and as they learn, get educated, they change. It takes time. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Many thanks.
Yeah, okay. All right, guys. Well, that's what I have. So uh, I wish you the best. And if you shoot me questions, one more thing. Oh, before I forget, please scan this code and write us evaluation and what you think of this class or what kind of things you are looking so we can design our webinars classes accordingly. We are here to help you. And so give us your feedback. This is really appreciated if you give us a feedback. Hey, how do you think? And what kind of things we should be, what kind of webinar we should bring you or classes we should bring to you to educate your people. And send us a questions if you have, you got Ramesh.Gulati. I thought I had it, but Ramesh, no, I don't have it. Ramesh.Gulati at relavatyx.com. And wish you the best. See you. Okay. Thank you, fellows. Appreciate you joining us today. And as I said, give us a feedback, and we hope to see you next time. Every Thursday, we have some webinar design scheduled. So join us every Thursday at 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Okay. Thank you, friends.